for these people who just don't seem to get it. There's a lot of these people out here that just don't seem to get it. And I just don't understand it. But everyone believes that they're safe in their homes. And when they step outside, nobody knows them on the internet and all these things. And they can go on and say all these things about people. There's people that can locate you and find you anywhere out here. So it's always wise to be careful how you treat other people, and definitely treat people the way you want to be treated or you expect to be treated, because that could cost you in the long run. You don't want to be that person. Don't make any sense. This person was hounding Hugh Jackman and harassing his wife, the guy that plays Wolverine. They were harassing his wife, talking about she looked like a dog, she's old and decrepit, because she's like 12 years older than him, maybe older, I don't know. But they've been married like 20 some years and everything. They met on a play, his first acting gig. He met her, they fell in love, they got married, and she's older than him by 12 years or something like that. Don't know how many years, but she's older. And boy, oh boy, do they come after him. They saying, oh, he must be gay if he's married to that thing. He's shredded up, got all the abs and everything, and he's married to that. You know, it's just terrible the way they talk about people's wives, and you know, some people take it and some people just blow up. But what gives you the right to dog somebody out about what they look like, and then you turn around and look 10 times worse than them? Make it make sense to me. Right, it just don't make sense. It's like, that's what you get your rocks off, going on the internet just to talk bad about somebody without any facts? When I talk about LeBron James, I back it up with the reasons. I have a reason to say what I say. I explain the reasons. Everyone knows the reasons. I don't just say it just to be saying it. That's crazy. But that's what these new people call, oh, it's just trolling. Okay. Well, see how it's trolling when they respond and they come and they grab you. Yeah, in Australia, they went and caught a person who was making like very rude threats towards Hugh Jackman and his wife. For no reason. They're attacking these women or whatever. They see celebrities, they feel like they gotta say something bad about a family member. They was talking about another celebrity's child in a photo that was posted, and they trying to share their life on social media, and that person took the photo down and just put up a message saying, this is why I don't share my life on social media. There's just some hurtful people in the world, you know, just very damaged people in the world that just wants to cause ruin to other people's lives. And then their lives is all screwed up. You got these idiots talking about, yeah, you ain't got no house, you ain't got no car, and then they living in an apartment and don't even have a vehicle to get around in. They got to bum rides off people. But they're going to sit up on a keyboard and try to make fun of people that have things that they don't have, that they wish they had. I saw a fool try to show Kwame Brown's house. He couldn't afford one of the rooms in the house. But he's going to show Kwame Brown house and try to make fun of it. Talk about you got an old Mercedes. See, that's how you can tell somebody's really stupid. Nobody asks what year your Mercedes is. You very rarely hear that. It's normally people that don't own a Mercedes. That they just like, man, you got a Mercedes. They don't care about the year because everybody knows that don't really matter when it comes to a car like that. That car's value will be worth anything that you buy American. It'll be worth more than that. The parts in this car is worth more than than what you got. Then you don't even own a car. So how are you sitting there talking about someone that owns a car? You know, that's what people call asinine. But then they get on the internet, and then because they got a couple of idiots following them, you know, and rooting them on, like, yeah! They just go along with it. It's kind of foolish to me, but you can't tell people nothing these days. They think they got all the answers. They got it all figured out. You living in that white man's house. I'll be like, well, go find you a white man and go live in his house. Because believe me, where I'm living at is much better than where you living at. To that crazy hater. And I'm like, how do you get people to go along with this nonsense? I ain't saying I got the best home in the universe. I'm just saying, where I live, a lot better than where they live. And I ain't playing the league. No, I didn't play ball. I had to get it how I live. It's more than one way to make some money. Not everybody can play ball and hoop and make it to the pros. And some people that's really talented never make it to the pros. So that's what they sold you on? They sold you on some of that? I know. Oh, the Patreon. Yeah, it's been cooking. Let me see. Let's go to my Patreon. Boom. What that say? Hulk Hogan did what? Hulk Hogan effed my wife. Oh my goodness. You might want to tune into that one. You might want to join the Casino for Life Patreon. Yeah, it's time to get down. Oh, the first thing I got is break back on that BS. And Hulk Hogan effed my way. Jalen Molly and Jay Williams. Y'all gonna see this probably in a couple days. Stephen A. podcast thing. Ooh wee. Jessica Simpson's big secret is revealed. Carcino's pick of the day. I should give y'all some picks for tomorrow. Ryan Clark, the Pivot podcast. We gave our thoughts on what happened. Princess Diana situation, what happened to her in real life. So you need to get to the Carcino for Life Patreon. Well, I'll tell you like this. Everybody feels like they are the hero in their own, in their own story. You know, right? Everybody feels like they're the hero in their own story. But this is why you always should be respectful to everybody that you work with or just people in general. Treat people the way you want to be treated. If you pushing out nonsense and ignorance, then nonsense and ignorance is going to come back to you. That only makes sense. I never felt that I had to be a certain way or, the world owed me something. I never had that mentality. I have family members with that kind of mentality. They feel like the world owed them something, so they don't have to do nothing in life because the world owed them. I've never been with that. I never looked at it like everyone else did. I look at things from a different perspective. People are gonna get enough with playing with people because they're not playing games anymore. They're changing the rules. They are coming to get and crack down on all these people who are hating. They can be pulled up on charges. Um, yeah, it's changing. You're no longer gonna be safe sitting there doing all these things behind the scenes, harassing these people, and just saying all this craziness to their wives and all this stuff is getting out of hand. And the fact that people don't deal with it because it's just not waste. They have too much going on in their life to be dealing with you. So their whole thing is, I'm just too busy to deal with you. But if I had time, I would take you out. Now, crossing the wrong people is never going to be healthy for you because you have some people that, because they're famous, don't mean the people around them are famous. Okay? And because the people around them are not famous, right. Because if the people around them aren't famous or anything like that, or they just like you, and you might offend them so much. That person might not do nothing to you, but somebody you don't even know might come and harm you, or come and do something, or do something drastic to somebody. You never know. You got to be careful. Well, you got to understand the world. Oh yeah, a lot of people found that out. Somebody who was friends of Allen Iverson, really good friends with AI, and because they were friends with AI, they did some things. You know, somebody was hating on AI, and they couldn't do it. They never expected somebody else who was just a friend of Allen Iverson to oh, it's good even for me. Well, you got to ask yourself, what is it that you feel is the proper way of dealing with the situation? And then sometimes it's not worth it, but you can't control sometimes what someone else might do. Yeah, Allen Iverson's friends decided to, his friend decided to go ahead and lend his helping hand in a situation where he didn't need to get involved. He chose to get involved. And because he chose to get involved, there they are. Well, I ain't gonna tell y'all what happened, but let's just say that person who was messing with AI, you know, got hurt by somebody who wasn't AI. AI never touched him, but he got hurt. All because that person wanted to be famous for messing around with AI. See, this is before they had internet on the phones. So you wasn't gonna have it on film unless you had a regular camera that could record. Nah, AI walked off. He talked this, you know what, and he walked off. And once he walked off, that's when they came up and decided this was gonna be what we finna do and how we gonna do it, and that became the narrative. You know, that became the way they had to move. I'm gonna just say, just it's just not worth it. You know, to harass anybody or to do these things. Y'all think it's so cool to go in there. It's okay to go ahead and harass and give your thoughts about something. But when you deliberately go and start like showing family members of other people and talking about their family, talking about their kids, talking about how ugly the kids is and all that stuff, and you just thinking that's gonna fly by. That's somebody's niece, nephew. That's somebody that like they're innocent. They're innocent. They don't deserve to go through that, especially not by adults. Adults are not supposed to act like children. Now it's rough if they got to go through school, and got to deal with stuff like that. Then for an adult to do it doesn't make sense. That's why when I talk about somebody, I talk about them directly. Like with Gummy, the only thing I'll say about his wife is, like the only reason she's keeping him around is to babysit the kids. It's cheaper to keep him because you know she makes more money than him, so the house is in her name. She got all the responsibilities. He's the deadbeat. Like he's coming in there just lounging up, leaving liquor bottles all over the place, just making a mess, sloppy. And she's just like, oh God, it's cheaper to keep him. But it's like, man, like why would she settle for that, convict? Like so I talk about him directly. So that'll be the only mention of him. But I don't talk about like disrespect his children and disrespect his wife in a way like I don't need to do all that. She don't have a YouTube or nothing like that, so there's no need for me to do that. But I can't say what others do. I've seen unspeakable things happen with Kwame. These dudes take his deceased mother's photo and want to put that in thumbnails, take his father photos and slap that in the thumbnail. It's like, y'all playing very dangerous games. It's like y'all think like, Kwame the only person that loved that woman or his father or his family members and stuff like that. Y'all just play dangerous games, very disrespectful games. To even threaten to go and do something stupid like violate someone's grave. Like these type of actions, you know, don't end well. We've seen it with all these young rappers, and we trying to tell them, hey man, y'all gotta come out with a better way. It ain't, and then here it is, adults, 50 years old, out here making threats about going to do something like that, as if it's cool. That's where the problems are. That's where they lie. Well, you have a whole different perspective from what people may believe and what they may not believe, right? I know. I mean, one player, he had lost his mother. His mom died, and he came back and joined the team after his mom died, and everybody's showing him love, and they giving him praise, and you would think that would be enough. You would think, okay, that would be the wave. But no, you don't get that. That would be enough to give some space. And as soon as he get on the court, somebody start razzing him. And what you normally, if it's somebody on the road, you would expect that. It's somebody who's who's on the home team starts riding him. And the man lost his mom, and sad. It was pitiful. I was I was pretty much somebody who was blown away by the fact that they sat there, and while this went on, I was waiting for that person to snap. And but I was in shock and disbelief that people had that much like not care, no chill. This person should have taken the whole week off, came back to work to play, and just no care, no concern. It's just, it was so disrespectful. Yeah, and you cross the wrong person, you know, things happen. Player for the Knicks, he was at the club, minding his own business. He gets out of the club. Guy was harassing him the whole time in the club. He didn't say a word. He stayed out of it. The people that was with him was talking. He was with his girl. And she was like, why don't you, enjoy yourself? You're worried about us. Go on and have a good time. Why do you keep. And he just wants to let him know again how much of a player, of a bad player he thinks he is. It's like he heard you the first hour. Now it's like another hour passed and you still trying to find us to come say it. He's trying to record on his phone inside the club, and it's not working because it's so dark in there, to try to, so they tell security, like, hey, this guy's a problem. They moved, instead of throwing the guy out, they moved the guy away from them. And then when they get outside, it turns into something else. Of course, you probably remember it because a whole nother incident happened, and that player ended up getting hurt when the police came by. And then the story became something else. Well, mostly the people that are out there in the world today, they're just trying to sustain. They're trying to just go by their everyday life. But a lot of times, people just not in the mood to hear it that day. You don't know what they might be going through, and they can snap and just try to take your head off. So it's like, why play with your health? Why do stupidity and commit stupid acts and act and think people should be civilized to you when you're not being civilized to them? It's to me, it's just common sense, but it is what it is. Taz is trying to diss the rap guy. What is he doing? Oh, they must be trying to battle. I'll have to check that out and see what's going on. Oh, come on. A lot of these, they don't understand how to set situations up the way they need to be. In other words, right? So when you start seeing people do stuff out of the ordinary, or you start seeing them acting irregular, you got to believe them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who they are in their true nature. because none of these people, that almost 0%, will have this energy when they see you face to face. It's very rare, unless they know, like, okay, this person a celebrity, this person had a lot to lose, and I don't. So if he get me, I'm gonna sue and do all this craziness. So they try to entice you to do stuff. But other than that, they don't even want to. Because a lot of these dudes, they play in the league and they play in the NBA, they're not celebrities. You know, it's only like maybe 10 NBA players that's celebrities. You know, a lot of them just, it's probably more than 10, but I'll say about 20 or 30. Like, you will be like, oh, look, it's such and such. Most of them you ain't even going to recognize. They just a bunch of tall guys walking around. And they play in the league, but they millionaires. You know, and they are not celebrities. The cameras don't follow them around. And you say something crazy to them, they might just grab you by the throat and knock you out. Especially when they ain't in the league no more. You might not even know they're not in the league. And this day and age right now, it's like, are you serious? It's not really about that. To me, it's an entirely different reasons why the scenarios are what they are right now, and people are in these predicaments that they're in. People are in the predicaments they're in because they don't try to can change their conditions. They're comfortable. They become laxed. They just like, all right, well, forget it. This is where it's at. They just give up. I know people that used to do stuff, be active. Yo, I'm finna go do this now. They just so lazy. They don't even make forth the effort anymore. They just give up. You know, and it's sad. Cam Thomas, yeah, he from Brooklyn. Yeah, he can ball. But how long will Cam Thomas be a Brooklyn net? That's that's gonna be the case. Mm, I see what you're saying, but no. Oh, you talking about, it was talking about the scuffle with Offset and Quavo people and all that, the pushing and shoving with the security. Is that what you talking about? I mean, people are just out their minds, man. You know, it's like everybody want to control a narrative and want to have an opinion on something, and they don't want to ever say they were wrong about something. They don't ever want to say, like, they can't just say, you know what, my bad, I was wrong, like I had that wrong. They can't do it. Oh no, I mean, it is what it isn't. Yeah, it is what it isn't. I mean, the Nets played hard tonight. Yeah, but you gotta understand, I know about those pickup games with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and I remember R. Kelly came in there and played with him. I'll tell you what happened then when R. Kelly and Michael Jordan played. Yeah, because this was when I believe I Could Fly was out, and they used that Michael Jordan, R. Kelly, I believe I Could Fly, and man, they put that video together, so they were playing ball. They play up at hoops and all that. And Mike came there and they invited him in. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh goodness, man. We'll talk about that on the Patreon. No, 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 no. There's so much going on that people just don't get and understand. Um, all these things come with consequences. That's what I'm saying. People be playing with fire, don't even know it. They went ahead and took care of one guy on the internet. They went and got him off the internet because he was trying to send spamming email to the charity foundation they set up, to the .org and all this stuff. He was sending stuff to the mail. Like, I don't like LeBron James, but I'm not finna go email stuff to LeBron and mail stuff to his house. You know, I'm not finna do anything stupid like that. Like, well, I don't need to harass this man for his life. We're gonna talk about his basketball play. And we're gonna critique him on his BS. But we're not gonna harass the man's life. Start following his kids around and all that goofiness. I don't need to do all that. Yeah, I used to call LeBron Bronny. So a lot of people thought I was making fun of his son. But I'm like, why? If you listen, when I was like, hey, Bronny boy, I was talking to LeBron. Like, the whole video is about LeBron. And I'm like, ain't that right, Bronny boy? And I'm talking to LeBron the whole time. I'm never talking to his son. I was talking to LeBron. That's what they was like, man, you messing with the guy's kids. I'm like, the hell are you talking about? But, and I was like, oh, yeah. He switched his name to Bronny, his son. But I used to call him Bronny. And I was calling LeBron Bronny for years. Before his father, his son, who was LeBron James Jr., was ever named anything other than. Thanks for the super chat, though, Rob. Real. Appreciate it. Yeah, I used to call him Bronny Boy. I got that from Spawn. When Violator, Spawny Boy. So I used to call him Bronny Boy. Hey, what's up, Bronny Boy? Ain't that right, Bronny Boy? So I used to call LeBron Bronny. Next thing you know, his son is Bronny now. So you learn something new every day. But I used to call him Bronny. And I used to be talking about LeBron, the big LeBron. What's up, Bronny? Bronny boy. So y'all thought I was talking about his son. I was talking about him. And I don't call him Bronny boy no more because everybody thought I was talking about his son, and I wasn't. So glad we got that cleared up. Yeah, well, that's what people do, isn't it? Make fun of themselves, make mistakes, do stupid stuff. My phone's gonna die. But if the Lakers are losing, blame James. Shouts out that Kwame Brown Bus Life 2.0. Ticket TV. Kwame Brown Bus Life, period. Subscribe to those pages. Subscribe here. If you're new, hit that notification bell. God bless, and I'm out.